Hey, S.T.S here. What's going on, everybody? You know what it is? It's now time for another S.T.S story. It's story time. Um, this story here, basically, what we're going to talk about here is I've actually talked about it on my Facebook not too long ago. I've hung out. I just got to hang out with this legendary family of brothers and sisters, and and a lady, a woman, you can say, of and their grandmother. Well, she wasn't there, but I mean, we're going to talk about. Well, the thing we'll talk about is the connection of my times of the Jacksons. And I'm going to say your names, and I'm sorry if you don't be, but I'm not going to tag anybody. I'm just going to put this video on Facebook just to know what's going on. Second grade, I don't know. Let's see. It goes back from second grade. Second grade was the pinnacle of if I can remember, I was in Mrs. Millsball's class, and the thing is, I didn't really have much friends or anything. But I did have a couple friends, but it was school friends and whatnot. And one day, I can remember the term my grandmother would use in her back in her day, which is kind of racist in a way, collared or whatnot, mixed. And I don't say collared. I never had said that word. I think that's kind of derogatory or whatever kind of disrespectful word. But when I was a kid, when there were black kids and so it's I just thought them as regular people, just like everybody else. And I think I've had even the second graders like, what do you hate these people for? You know what? Well, because they're just like us. We're just white. They're black. I mean, who gives a shit? We're all equal in my opinion. Yeah, all created man equal. Well, this one guy came. Little kid in glasses, mixed guy, and we didn't really like each other at first. And I can still remember this day. I think we can't stand each other for some reason. I don't know why, but then we started sort of to click. I think because we were wrestling fans. I think that person's Mr. Ryan Jackson, and this guy I had been friends with for many years. This is the first almost family that was it. That's how I met him. I met him, and then his little brother Randon, his little sister Rihanna, and their lovely mother Ann. And I got to hang with these people. This family's awesome. They lived across the street from my grandmother's house on Gallatin Street at the time. It's just great. I never had we had our fights and stuff. I remember, here's a story you can talk about, with Ryan and everybody. Well, across the street from their old place, there was this, someone lived there. I don't know if we were friends with these people. I think we were with them at all, but these people, I think it was the Burkharts, or I don't know what their name is, but I think that's what their name. I don't know, but they had a trampoline on there, and I think it was their uncles or their grandparents. I don't remember, but when they would leave or whatnot, me, Ryan, and Randon, I think maybe they were friends. I don't know. I don't remember, but I remember we would sneak over. We would just jump out of the blue, just jump on a trampoline for a moment. I mean, that's what we had as a kids. We jumped in this thing, and get in trouble. We didn't care. But one thing is, me and Ryan, we had our faults here. Ryan, I remember I tried to I was going to do a pedigree on him. That's a Triple H's move. You get up, and when you stand up, you put them. Yeah, they do this, and you have to overhook them. Sorry about the camera angle, and then you fall. You fall down. Well, I knew I was going to fall down on him. But the thing is, though, here, Ryan has earrings, and he was there, but I wasn't ready to fall down. And so he wants to fall, and I fall down with him at the wrong time. And I remember, I can still remember this day, that when I fell down with him, I landed on his right ear. And I'm sorry, Ryan. I remember that. They probably don't remember. I can still remember that. This is the truth. This is the true shit here. The thing is, they had the amazing times at the brick house, which I ended up going in there last year because my friend Josh Bricker used to live there, and I'm like, he said he lived across my grandparents' house, and I was like, this is the old place. It was weird and very nostalgic, very nostalgic. But memories with them. We had a Halloween party that Mima, I can't say it right now. Meba. I think that's how I say it. Sorry, Ann, if I spell your mom's say it wrong or way. Mima Matma was their great grandmother. OB was their uncle. One hell of a grandmother she is, and their great grandmother, God rest her soul. And OB, I remember everybody used to be like, well, he would open the door, and I remember I had my buddy Tito or someone with me, and said, he reminds me of like some caretaker from a haunted house, you know. But their house, Mima's old house, well, the original house, they know what I'm talking about, on Washington. We used to wrestle outside. The legendary living room, the circular living room. Oh man, it was just great. That place too. But talking about Mima, she had I think they had her friends or something like that. But we had a birthday party for Ryan, and this is when the dogs, when Bama Boys or whatever they're called, Bama Men came out, and when with the dog, who let the dogs out, which this song was popular at the time. Well, I mean, we had a birthday party. We had all his friends. I think it was me. I know I was there. I think Marlon Wright was there. James Wright, maybe. I don't remember all the people was there. Me. But the thing is, though, at this time, Ryan is maybe this day, I told him, I joked with him the last time I saw him last Saturday, is that this he's a scared little. When you go to haunted houses, this guy will get scared or something. He screamed bloody murder. And there's a time where we were all sitting around doing something, and Mima was saying something. I think there's something going on. And I know, Ryan, you need to check up in the back. And Ryan didn't want to, and he was screaming. It's her friends or someone dressed up and like in paint, whatever. And he was so bored with this. I remember he ended up trying to play "Who Let the Dogs Out?" Who. Mima got mad at him and stuff, but this is. I mean, it just crossed on. I mean, this is an awesome family. There's all these stories. We wrestled everywhere. And this also introduces Mr. Mark, the Prob Cotton Jr. His dad, Elvin, and I got to speak to him. I think last year, I think I saw him at the liquor store. He recognized me. Hey, Sam. It was cool because some people just look past when you review people and pass you by. But he remembered me, and I remember him. But he was dating. He was with Mark's mom years ago, and that's how we got to meet Mark. And me and Mark were cool. But then there was a confrontation between me, him, and Byron Weaver. Now, he was a cotton, and I think I said it too. I called him a cotton ball head or whatever. He got mad at me. Him and Byron went after me. They whipped my ass. And Trishelle, Mark's sister, she did not like me at all. No, she hated this cracker. Nope. But I mean, the things I was never close with. Back in the day, back in the years ago, I was close with Mark. Not really close, but when Ryan was there, we were all there. There's a picture that's on Facebook, or I posted. And then he's not with us today, which is a fucking bummer. I haven't talked to him forever. The last time I spoke was just on a Facebook post. It was that picture I took, or it was a picture I showed of us when we were younger with my sister on my birthday party, as I remembered, with Randon and Ryan and Mark and my sister Katie. And he's like, Sam Slam! Laugh it loud and say, yeah, the Heartbreak Kid, which I would call it the Heartbreak Kid, not the Heartbreak. Be a Heartbreak Kid. He would have a chuckle, and I just miss him to death. And he was one of my friends too. We would have fights, but then you get over them. You forgive each other. You go on. And it's one thing we did. And I love it. I miss him. Even though I haven't seen him forever, I've been listening to his mixtapes lately, and I feel like he's right there next to me. So I got my haters with me. He'll get you down. I can't ad-lib him, but I mean. Oh, it's awesome. Tears up. But all thanks to the Jacksons, Mima too. I mean, she was there's a story I went with the Jacksons, me, Raina. I think we all went, Rihanna. We had Jamaica. I haven't seen Jamaica in forever. I think I met Jamaica from them. And it's been forever since I've seen Jamaica. And I forgot his name until Ryan told me about it last week. But we went to Escapades. Which was I remember as a kid, I mean, this was great. And it was bigger than Discovery Zone. We went with us, and we had a fun time. I'm trying to remember, but I mean, I remember we were up in there, and this thing was huge. But now back in, I think it's still around, but it's dirty. I've heard reviews about it and everything. The building's still there. I'd like to just check it out, just to have a nostalgic. Oh, yeah, I was here years ago, just like the Discovery Zone. But the Discovery Zone's not around. It's Pier 1 Imports in Kokomo now, but this place was just. I don't know, we had a fun time. That was a great time. There were so many memories in elementary days. It was fantastic. But as time goes on, we start drifting apart. Like they had a house living behind their grandma's house, Mima's, and Maurice. I remember Maurice. Yeah, I remember him. But other than that, I mean. Yeah, it's great. His mom, Anne's a wonderful hell of a woman, I tell you. And it's just like it's just time led on. Everybody went their own ways, I mean, I went this way, and this is before cell phones and everything. I mean, it's just I don't recall. I think it's this last between they were hanging out with Mike. Yeah, I remember they were hanging out with Michael Jackson and Carlton Bledson. I mean, Carlton had a little. I seen him later on when he was working at Burger King at the time, but he was cool, but they were kind of dickheads to me, and that's why I don't know what the hell happened. I don't remember that, but I mean, I don't go my way. But the thing is, though, I'm just going to this is going to be it there. Ryan, my first ever pay-per-view I ever watched on TV when it's on, the pay-per-view was with Ryan, his grandmother, watching No Way Out 2002. I believe. Yep, 2002, because that's when the NWO came to WWE. It's just, there's so much things, and the thing is, though, you think that, I know I did grudges with people where I would say, these motherfuckers don't talk anymore, and all this shit, to some people, Jackson's I never did, but, we just went our own ways, Ryan ended up living close to me, and my mom's, well, not really close, it was on the Delphi Mart by Gus's, we're around that area, but we just, it was there, but we just partly, because, we had our own lives, and now as I'm older, we can say, I'm isolating myself, even though I'm married, I'm married to my wife Amanda and have a son. I mean, I isolate myself sometimes, but then again, it's for good. I just like being myself, and also I don't like bothering a bunch of people. Everybody has their own lives, but and that's what we did. But the thing is, Ryan's been one of my best friends in the world. We were wrestling fans. That's one of the things too. But now he's grown out of it. I'm still in it. He was a huge rock fan. I was a Steve Austin fan. I think we would fight. We'd wrestle and all that stuff. We had a good damn time. And now you just go past, and it was just all memories. I mean, years ago, just memories and just going past the Washington by old Mima's old house, which is now different because they cut all the damn bushes out because we used to hide in there all the time. Their house behind there got remodeled into a one-story house. The brick house is now empty, but I was in there when my buddy Josh lived there last year. The churchyard. I mean, you go past their old house on the Delphi Avenue. I mean, it's just, yeah. But and then it started to be last year. I think it was or a year. I would just go to CVS. I would go get some liquor, or just go there to get something, or whatever. And I would spot Ryan. And and I haven't seen him, or I'd see him on I also seen him on the game launches too, because he also worked at Radio Shack. But man, he was such a good person. Just I never thought that this could it be like it used to be, like it was yesterday, And I always had the fear, it's just because he was hanging out with these more cool people, and all this other stuff, and that's how the negative. I'm negative. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get off from it. Sometimes it's like but it's just been. It was just one. It's like this was one of my best friends, and the things that we never had no. Hey, I was just like afraid to say it. Like even him at Radio Shack. I just don't want to say hey, what's going on. He was working. I remember he's working with Scott Chains. That big. He got muscle. He was a midget, and he turned muscle, but. I would see him there talking to him, and because talking for a little bit, he was getting his Bombay gin, which I tried gin, which I'm not a fan. If I had juice, I had Dr. Pepper, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, at the end of the day here, we're just talking, and then I talked to him in a message when I went to my grandma's, which my grandparents loved the Jacksons. Oh, they loved them. My grandpa liked them all. My grandmother did, and that's one thing too. Because now I go past my old grandma's house, and it was a drug house because they got caught, or well, no, the Broomfields, they had it, whatever. But the thing is, now at the end of the day, I talked to him, but he would say, hey, what's your hand sometime? And then, all right, well, I'm busy right now, but we'll figure something. And then nothing ever happens, No one ever put, and I'm not mad at anybody, No one ever puts their faith, like, hey, remember when you text me, when I hang out, No one ever does it, It's like, well, then again, he's busy. But then I said, then Mark passed. And I didn't want to go. I really didn't want to go because I have a really social anxiety. I like to go in big moments and stuff. But you know what? It's like God telling me, Mark was one of your close friends back in the day. They mentioned you gotta go, and I had my shoes. And I parked at my friend's house because it was a huge thing, a huge funeral. But I didn't go on over there. I'm not gonna say the whole funeral, by the way. But I mean, because I think it was a view. The view was great. I mean, just talking about him and seeing all the stories. But then they went all church on us, which actually was kind of disrespectful. You don't need to worry about him. God has him. What about you? It's like, okay, we didn't go. We wouldn't pay respect to this man who did everything for his lady and his daughter. But no, you want to keep no, whatever. But I didn't want to go. But then when I first got out there, I said, what the hell? I don't give a shit. I'm gonna pay my respects. And when I first got there, it was Ann. I gave her a hug, and then I saw Ryan and Randon. Randon, tall as hell now. But I got to see them. I got to hang. I get to hang with them, but we get to just console. And when I got to see Mark, it was travesty. I didn't want it to be real. I did not want it to be real. This I didn't want it to be real. You see somebody, it's been years ago, and the next day, they're right there, in the casket. It's sad. I didn't, his whole rap get people and all that stuff, it's just like, if I hung out with them, it'd be kind of weird. I mean, that's why I see it in a way, because I'm not in the rap game, I'm just the wrestling guy, cracker, But the thing is, though, I seen him, and it was, but I saw the Brian tape, and his grandma told me I was a tear of mine, I laughed her, but and then I hugged, and I left, and I hugged Brandon and Ryan, and I said, well, thanks for the memories, And then a couple days later, I messaged Ryan, hey, we did this weekend, and yeah, come down. And I did, and they all lived together in the same house, He's just chilling, he was showing his, and when I got up there, it's just like, man, this is it. And I'm like, man, it's been forever, man. And I had to hang out there, but Randon just like it was like yesterday. Rihanna, I mean, I saw her before when she worked, but I've never seen Randon in years, 8 years. I've seen Ann before a while, but other people, their cousin, it's just like, these are people, I can just chill with. These are my brothers and sisters, and I love them all. I got drunk, I had some gin, which I don't really care for gin. We get to play some Uno, drunk, and it was great. And then I drove, and he wanted to get some more gin, and I said, I can drive. I'm be able to, which I am. What's wrong. I drive drunk fine, or I'm very cautious, But then before we did that, he was on his phone, and I just said, and I got emotional too. I said, I'm so damn glad I got to meet you and your family, and you still accept me in just like it was just yesterday, just like it was 10 years ago, 8 years ago, or whatever it was. You guys were a part of my life, and one of the best times ever. I know we've had little fights maybe, or I don't know if we even had fights, but I mean, and then the Mark whole thing, it's just, you guys are family to me. You're my brothers and always will be. And I got upset and emotional, and I told him, I was like, well, we love you too, you're just like fam too. And it was a damn good time. Their cousin, Brandon's like, this is Sam Slam, he's like, you don't know him. And their cousin's like, yeah, I remember Sam. It's like, because there's those people, it's like, I remember her. I forgot her name, but I forgot, Monique, or I forgot. But I mean, it was a great damn time. I went back home. I could have stayed, but, when I at someone else's house, I was like, I gotta leave. Now, if I had no kid or wife, if I had no, like, better life. I mean, if I didn't have a life, I mean, just saying I have a kid. If I was single, I'd probably stay just to chill. But, you know, I did. I went back home though. But it was awesome. And get the chuckle of and we're talking about Mark from way with everybody. And I thank you guys. You know, your family knows with me. So that's 20 minutes. The Jacksons / Mark the Prob Cotton Jr. That's a happy story. And I just want to talk about that. They're one of my best friends. And that's the end of a good, awesome S.T.S story with sadness. But he's in our hearts. Rest in peace.